England is famous for its stunning architecture. We all know that. It has a perfect mix of old and new buildings that make their cities a visual delight. But guess what? Recently, all eyes have been on a building that is not exactly winning any beauty contests. In fact, it has been crowned the ugliest building in the entire UK. Yep, you heard that right. There's actually an award for this sort of thing, the Carbuncle Cup. And this year, the honour goes to Liverpool's Lime Street. So, what makes this building the opposite of special? And who exactly decides which building is the absolute worst? Before we dig into this architectural nightmare, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates on the world's most unique buildings. The Carbuncle Cup is a unique and somewhat notorious award given annually to the ugliest building in the UK. This prize was initiated by the architecture magazine Building Design back in 2006 and by the Fence magazine since 2024. The idea behind it was to critique poor architectural design, planning and negative environmental effects, just to encourage a public dialogue about the built environment. The selection process is quite interesting. Nominations are open to the public, meaning anyone can suggest a building they find particularly hideous. A panel of expert judges, usually composed of architects and critics, then reviews the nominations and selects the winner. The cup is awarded once a year, typically in the summer. It is meant to be a bit of fun, but also serves as a reminder of the importance of thoughtful and aesthetically pleasing design in our cities. This year, Liverpool's Lime Street took home the dubious honour. Liverpool's Lime Street got a £49 million, or about $62 million makeover by Broadway Malin, but it is now famous for all the wrong reasons. This year, it became the ugliest building in the UK. So, what's so bad about it? Well, they knocked down some beloved old buildings, including the iconic futurist cinema, and replaced them with a block of 412-bed student flats and a 101-room Premier Inn, which is not exactly inspiring. It did not sit well with the judges of the Carbuncle Cup. The designers thought it would be cute to add some etched metal panels showing the old buildings they demolished. However, no one was impressed by it. The judges called it bland, greedy, and a total misfire. Liverpool's residents never asked for this eyesore, but here it is, sticking out like a sore thumb right near the train station. This ugly building had to compete with the other 5 that were shortlisted for the cup. Let's have a look at what made these buildings so ugly. The W Hotel in Edinburgh was one of the buildings that were shortlisted. W Hotel was designed by Jesco and Wiles, and it cost £350 million, or about $441 million. But instead of wowing the public, it earned some harsh critiques. Why did it make the Carbuncle Cup shortlist? The design features a wave-like bronze structure that many feel clashes with Edinburgh's historic charm. The hotel's shiny, reflective exterior and odd shape did not blend in. Instead, it stood out in all the wrong ways. Critics said it looked quite literally like a poo, which is probably the worst thing you can say about a building. The Virgin Hotel in Glasgow, designed by 3D Reed, has not exactly been embraced by the locals. Built in 2023, this modern addition to Glasgow's skyline aimed to bring a fresh, contemporary vibe to the city. However, its design, which features a massive glass and steel structure with irregular, jagged edges, has been a point of contention. It was opened as a high-end hotel in August 2023, but closed just after 4 months due to some financial problems. Apart from being a useless building, it was an eyesore for the residents. They say the building is too flashy and out of place, which clashes with Glasgow's traditional architectural style. The Royal Liverpool University Hospital, which was completed in 2022, came with a hefty price tag of £1 billion. It seemed like the architects were aiming for a modern design but ended up with a chaotic looking building. Critics say that it seems like 8 awful buildings are jammed into one. Why else do people hate it? The hospital's jumbled appearance and lack of cohesion made it an ugly structure. Instead of blending with its surroundings, it stuck out awkwardly. Locals and critics felt it failed to provide a welcoming atmosphere, which is essential for a healthcare facility. Despite its state-of-the-art interiors, the hospital's exterior design left everyone unimpressed and longing for something more aesthetically pleasing. Mast Quay 2 in London was also completed in 2022. This residential development was supposed to be a sleek, modern addition to the Thames riverside. However, its design has been anything but well received. The building features a series of bland, boxy towers with no aesthetic appeal. It looks as if giant Lego blocks are stacked without any creativity. Critics argue that Mast Quay 2 is soulless and uninspiring. It has failed to add any charm or character to the area. Its monotonous facade and lack of architectural innovation were the reasons it was shortlisted for the Carbuncle Cup. Many feel it looks cheap and rushed. They should never have gone for such a basic design. The same was the problem with the next shortlisted building. Ilona Rose House in London, situated in Soho, opened its doors in September 2021. The building's design aimed for a bold, contemporary look with its bright pink colour and block floors. But people really hate it. Why? First, it replaced the beloved Foyles bookshop, which everyone loved. Second, it is now the headquarters for Soho Estates, and it offers little utility to the general public beyond a few trendy brunch spots. This is why it made it to the list of the ugliest buildings. Now, let's take a look at the previous winners of this not-so-coveted award and see why those buildings were considered so ugly. Red Rock Stockport took home the Carbuncle Cup in 2018. This leisure complex was supposed to be a modern addition to the town, but it ended up being a massive letdown. The building's design features a mix of harsh red and grey cladding, sharp angles and awkward shapes that clash horribly with the surrounding area. People hated it for a few reasons. First, its blocky, fortress-like appearance was seen as cold and uninviting. And then, it lacked any sense of originality or identity. The building seemed like it could be anywhere, with no connection to Stockport's unique character. Critics felt it was soulless and out of place. Instead of bringing a fresh vibe, Red Rock Stockport ended up looking generic and uninspired, which is why it was named the ugliest building of 2018. Nova Victoria in London was redeveloped and opened in 2017. Since then, it has been widely criticised as one of the worst office developments in the city. The design features bold, blood-red glass and a sheer cliff face appearance that many find jarring and unappealing. The public absolutely hates it. Critics argue that it's overbearing and lacks any sense of harmony with its surroundings. They have called Nova Victoria a prime example of modern architecture gone wrong. Instead of being a sleek, futuristic addition to the city, it has been labelled as cold and impersonal, which is why it won the Carbuncle Cup back in 2017. Lincoln Plaza in London, built and opened in 2016, quickly became notorious. This complex in South Quay featured 2 towers, a hotel and a round building. Despite its grand opening, it won the Carbuncle Cup in 2016 for its ugly design and was eventually closed in 2020. The building's design was heavily criticised for its ugly cladding, chaotic structure, and messy balconies. Judges and critics felt it showcased the worst in architectural design, with its mix of poor materials and confusing layout. Why did it close? Many saw it as a visual disaster. The unattractive and disorganised look led to its downfall, and it closed in 2020. Next, we have 20 Fenchurch Street in London, or as we all call it, the Walkie Talkie. This building was completed in spring 2014 with its 3-floor Sky Garden opening in January 2015. It is a 38-storey giant that cost over £200 million. Now, here is the interesting part. In 2015, this so-called architectural marvel won the infamous Carbuncle Cup for being the ugliest new building in the UK. The judges couldn't find a single person who liked it. One town planner even said it is a perfect reminder of what not to do in city planning. The worst part was that the building's curved design turned it into a giant magnifying glass. For a couple of hours each day, it focused sunlight so intensely that it melted car parts on the streets below. People were literally frying eggs on the footpath during the summer of 2013. This disaster taught us all a big lesson in bad design and poor planning. Future architects, take notes. Let's hope we see fewer of these hot messes and more buildings that actually fit in and function well. Do you think Liverpool's Lime Street is the ugliest building? Which building do you think should have won this year's Carbuncle Cup? Do you know any other ugly buildings? Share your opinions with us in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.